They say power comes with responsibility. But in moments of real danger, power also comes with one brutal test. Do you stand your ground, or do you disappear? Because right now, across northern Nigeria, one question is echoing louder than the explosions that rocked the region on Christmas night. Where is the Sultan of Sokoto? Social media is boiling. WhatsApp groups are panicking. And rumors are spreading faster than official statements can contain them. According to multiple reports lighting up the internet, the Sultan, the spiritual backbone of the caliphate and one of the most influential traditional rulers in Africa, may have quietly left his palace after American airstrikes tore through parts of Sokoto state. You've seen the headlines. You've heard the speculation. Now everyone is asking what nobody wants to say out loud. Did the Sultan flee? Because since the night the sky turned red, something feels deeply wrong. The government says everything is normal. The military says calm has returned. Photographs were released showing top army officials visiting the palace. But on the streets of Sokoto, fear tells a different story. A story of unanswered questions. Of leaders who suddenly went quiet. Of a silence so unsettling that even seasoned observers are calling it alarming. And that silence is the real problem. Since the airstrikes, there has been no direct message from the Sultan. No address to his people. No reassurance to frightened farmers. No words for communities who thought war had arrived at their doorstep. Nothing. For a leader who is usually vocal during crises, who often speaks about unity, peace, and restraint, this sudden quiet is not normal. Analysts and commentators have pointed it out. In moments like this, silence doesn't calm the public. It scares them. So let's rewind. Within hours of the US strikes, the Nigerian military moved quickly. Cameras appeared. Smiles were exchanged. On December 26, 2025, senior army officials were photographed inside the Sultan's palace. The message was obvious. Relax. He's here. Everything is under control. But that moment raised more questions than it answered. Because after that single appearance, the Sultan vanished from public view. No follow-up. No clarification. No voice. And that's why the rumors refused to die. Was that visit genuine reassurance, or was it damage control? Was the Sultan already preparing to leave? Or is he still inside the palace, shielded under heavy protection, while the real situation is being kept from the public? To understand why fear has taken hold, you must understand what actually happened. This was not a routine military operation. This was the United States, under direct authorization from President Donald Trump, launching airstrikes on Nigerian soil. Trump didn't soften his words. He openly said the mission was aimed at crushing ISIS-linked fighters and protecting Christians. That single statement placed the Sultan in an impossible position. If he supports the strikes, he risks appearing to side with foreign forces against his own region. If he condemns them, he risks being accused of shielding extremists. Either choice comes with consequences. So he chose the third option, silence. But leadership doesn't survive on silence. Because while leaders hesitate, rumors grow teeth. Now let's talk about the real trigger, the group known as Lakurawa. This isn't ordinary banditry. These fighters are reportedly foreign-trained, heavily armed, and deeply embedded in local communities. They collect taxes, enforce rules, operate like a shadow government. The fact that Nigerian forces allegedly required American firepower to confront them tells you one thing. The situation had spiraled. And the Sultan, whose influence crosses borders and loyalties, is now standing at the center of a storm he may no longer control. That's why many believe his silence is not rest. It's caution. Or fear. Or preparation for something much bigger. Look at it from the villager's perspective. People in Jebo watched debris fall from the sky. Families ran from their homes. Children screamed. Farms were damaged. They looked toward the palace, toward leadership, for clarity. Instead, they got silence and a photograph. It feels distant. It feels elite. It feels like decisions are being made far above the people who will pay the price. And that feeling fuels one dangerous belief. If the leader won't speak, maybe the leader isn't there. So now the question comes back to you. Do you believe the official narrative that the Sultan is safe and settled in his palace? Or do you believe there's truth hidden behind the rumors? Is his silence a wise strategy in a volatile moment? Or is it a troubling absence when his people need him most? One thing is undeniable. As we move deeper into 2026, the Northwest is no longer just dealing with internal insecurity. It has become a new front in a global conflict. Foreign missiles. New terror groups. Shattered calm. Whether the Sultan is inside the palace or somewhere undisclosed, one reality remains. The peace of the caliphate has been broken. And until he speaks, the questions will only grow louder.